Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back once again to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time. You probably know what that is if you're here. If you've been here, we're on like episode 280 something. But if you don't, that's a series of fantasy novels that were written by Robert Jordan and then completed. The series was, not each individual book, by Brandon Sanderson. My name is Gus, and I've read all of them.
And I'm Allie, and I am on book 13, chapter 23. 23?
Are you doing the thing where you're saying that's the chapter that you're reading next?
Oh, that's the chapter I just read.
You read 2 chapters.
I know. So I did 22 and 23, right? Or did I do 23 and 24?
I think you did 23 and 24. Or you might have done 21 and 22. I'm very bad with numbers lately. That's why I am an actor. You read 23 and 24. So actually, you're...
On 25.
If you're going... Yes, sure.
Based on what
Depending on how you call it.
Which way do I normally go?
Usually you say on as in have just finished. So that'd be 24.
Yeah. Okay.
This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie's already read, which today is everything up to and including The Gathering Storm, Chapter 24, which is called A New Commitment. Allie, how you doing with the book today?
Things popped off.
They did.
Things are popping off. We have a losing Cadsuane. Gawyn is there.
Gawyn has made some decisions.
I mean, has he?
No,
the decisions
not really.
are like, I want to save her. And Gareth Byrne was like,
decisions are, I'm the
don't.
greatest.
And he didn't listen to a thing Gareth Bryn said.
Well, before we get into all that, we've got a few people to thank. So let's do that real quick.
Thank you for not being Gawyn.
That's a good one. Thanks for the pint, 2 hats.
2 hats. Just like an enchanting cookie.
Now I want cookies.
I know. I did it to myself. You have a warm, gooey center. You are just somebody who is so easy to get along with. You're also really real dough. You're not gonna, let someone walk around with their hair askew. You're gonna let them know if they need to fix themselves. Because you know that being nice and being kind are 2 different things.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. And you're as pretty as a flower. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being part of this community.
Thanks for the...
And pretty is a gender-neutral term, in my opinion.
It is. Thanks for the high five. And no, thanks for the pint, Androl Sedai.
Androl Sedai.
Did I say pint before or high five? I meant pint.
I don't know.
I meant pint. If I said high five, that's my bad. I meant pint.
Just like a...
For 2 hats and Androl Sedai. I'm going to let Allie talk.
Just like a wholesome library. Wow. You know when to be quiet, when it's appropriate to be quiet and really listen and take in what people are saying. You're often booked with plans because no one can get enough of you. And you're so cute, everyone's checking you out. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the pint. The warded bond.
The warded bond, just like a loving ham. I've done ham. Let's do beehive. You are buzzing with industriousness. You get things done like nobody's business. Business, if you know what I mean. You're sweet as honey. And you're really well groomed. It's very obvious you own a comb. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the pint, Maddie S.
Maddie S, just like an ambitious snowflake. You don't melt under pressure. You rise to occasions. You're unique and individual. There's not another one like you. And you've never once been cold in your life. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
And thanks for the pint, Brian V.
Brian V, just like a multifaceted shelf. You hold the weight of the world on your shoulders, but you hold it gracefully. You are never afraid to rise above a problem. And nothing is really out of your reach. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Our patrons are too nice and we don't deserve them.
We love you all.
So thanks.
Thank you so much.
We really don't deserve this, but it's good of you and we're very grateful. So thank you. Here's the question.
Yes.
Where did we leave off? I put a big dramatic pause in there, but I just remembered I run a
was
tool
nearly
called
enslaved.
Truncate Silence, and it's just going to cut that whole pause. So I don't know why I even did that. Yes, go on.
Rand was nearly enslaved and nearly choked Min out when the most stressful chapter I've ever read in my life.
It was up there. We have a live reaction up. It's
that
very
was
fun.
Concerning. It's still up.
Very
even
fun one.
If you
they stay up for a while. I have frankly not been removing the old ones or unlisting them, so
honestly,
a lot of them,
the old ones up.
They're there. They're there. It's
no, I know, but the really old ones.
Oh, Allie, your microphone stand is about to fall the fuck over. You see this?
No.
You see how tilted it is?
Well, do we want to fix that?
We're gonna give me 30 seconds. You're not even gonna. I'm gonna pause the recording. Why am I? Okay, we're back. Not that y'all noticed that we went anywhere. Continue what you were saying.
Rand was almost enslaved.
It was a bad day for everybody.
It was really stressful. And I did not like it. I did from a, yay, things are happening and authorial perspective. But as a human being who loves these people, I was very upset. Very upsetting.
I
was traumatized.
I really was pleased that I finished reading the chapters this week. And usually we read the chapters in a kind of particular time period that we're going to set up before we record. And so it's a little bit more blocked off in terms of when we read, when we don't. But this time I finished the chapters. I went, fuck it, I'm going to keep going because I was having such a great time again.
Yeah.
And I am just I'm loving this book.
Me too, dude.
It's a nice romp. Do you have notes, Sally? We're going to pick it up, I guess, from chapter 23, which is really, really short and is called A Warp in the Air. Do you have any notes?
Yeah, I do. Hold on. Let me pull them up because 5 years in, I still haven't done that,
Can you believe we've been reading these books for 5 years?
No.
Me neither.
I really can't. It's pretty weird in a good way, but still weird. Hang on. Just kidding, but also not kidding.
I was going to say,
now
I see
down.
you scrolling. It's not kidding at all.
Okay. Chapter 23. Guys, do you want me to read all my notes or just the one for chapter 23? Because aren't we going into 24?
Yeah, we 23, then 24. That's usually what we do.
Yes. Can't alert the warders who would have been able to do fucking nothing.
Except raise the alarm.
Well, yeah, but still, Forsaken. They would have been able to do fucking nothing. I'm just kidding. Let me have
I know.
I just am like, what are the men gonna do? All right. Dagian is with Evan now.
That's dark, Allie.
Wasn't that her order?
He died.
I know.
And so did she.
I know. They're together now.
That's not how the Wheel of Time's cosmology works.
How do you know that they're not in storage for a little bit before they get reborn? They can hang out. This is what I like to think, is that reincarnation, you get a little time together in the storage facility before you go out.
You just
get into the world again.
Hang out in the fucking back rooms for a while?
Yeah, like with fucking, what's it called? Until you decide you're ready to do it again.
Sure, yeah, all right.
Like your soul, whatever.
That sounds nice.
This is how I like to think of it.
I like it.
This is how I like to think of it. This is my whole thing. Because I'm this is how it can not suck. As a concept. So you die, as you do, right? You get reunited with all the people who cared about you, and you get to hang out for a little while and just be together, whatever. Do your thing. Talk about the lessons you learned, all that shit. Then when you're kind of tired of, that whole thing, you go back. Because being happy forever is boring.
Speaking of die, we watched a movie last night called All That Jazz. I didn't know anything about it going in. Based on the title and the poster, I was like, oh, I assume this is sort of like a dance movie that is kind of about Broadway and the jazz age and some things.
Kind of.
And parts of that, very much. But really, not at all.
Yeah, it's about Bob Fosse.
Incredibly draining and heavy film. Very good, unbelievably draining movie.
And then I said, well, that couldn't have gone worse. Good time to go get more rain. Am I right, Matt? Am I right?
Matt's too busy.
Am I right?
Pounding brewskis with the boys.
Am I right?
And going to visit town.
Is it time to go get her, please?
Allie, what do you think? This book? We got her this book? Is it going to happen? We got...
Am I losing hope?
We got some of that.
I'm losing hope.
Chapter 23, A Warp in the Air.
Go get her.
Dragon in the Box logo. What of the sisters who were guarding her cell? Cadsuane asked. And then, how are they?
Dead.
Well, to one of them.
Some of them
Two
are
of them just got bonked. Pretty bad bonk. Here, you know what's bullshit?
What?
This whole rescue is bullshit because the Dark One just sent Shaidar Haran to go in and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna break all the rules. Fuck you."
Yeah, it was shit.
That sucks, man.
I wanted at least a like dramatic escape rescue thing.
No, I mean that is a terrible day for the heroes because the Dark One was just like, "I'm gonna cheat."
Yeah, and that sucks. You shouldn't be allowed. I guess it is evil.
Yeah, so Korele and Nisune are fine. Daigian's dead. I mean, what's the gist of this chapter? How's it go? What's the haps?
What's the haps?
Is this a happy-go-lucky chapter where Rand reconciles how he's feeling?
No. Because I said, I'm like, this fucking kid is going to learn all the wrong lessons from this. And guess what? I was right. Again, Luce Theron. Because this fucking guy won't ever just vibe.
No.
Won't ever just go like, you know what? Being hard and pushing everyone I love away doesn't work to protect them, one. And two, kind of sucks. And if things are going to kind of suck, I want brief moments of happiness, right?
I can support that.
Like, pushing everyone away and all that stuff is not helpful. None of it's helpful. Why are we doing it? It's silly. He's being a goose.
Now, I agree wholeheartedly that Rand is being a total...
I understand that he's traumatized and doesn't have access to therapy, but it's annoying.
A total goober. An utter goober.
I'm frustrated.
But... at the same time, does Cadsuane handle this well? No.
I'm not saying she handled it well. I'm just saying he's not handling it particularly well either. But yeah, no, well, I think she's just kind of stunned and on the back foot, and he's really being quite scary right now. And no, she doesn't handle it well because she starts scolding him. But the adults don't have emotional regulation or access to therapy either, and it is also the apocalypse. I'm not saying she did well. I'm like, Cadsuane, fucking chill. But, like, he needs her. He knows he needs her. She knows he needs him. Can we put the bullshit aside, please? And come together right now. Like, seriously, right now. Like, right this second.
So
right this millisecond.
Cadsuane busts in.
I have a headache. I'm sitting here, I'm saying the same thing. I'm like, I cannot believe I am stuck on the planet with people who just can't figure out that we're all in this fucking together.
I know.
God.
Cadsuane busts in. She's like, well, give me the rundown. I need the 411. And
sometimes the Wheel of Time is like, trigger it.
Well, kind of. It's because, sometimes it's incredibly realistic and very accurate, well-written representation of what a lot of humanity is like in an infuriating way.
It's a lot, and I'm tired of everybody not working together. Just stop it.
She goes, speak up, boy. We need to know if the camp is in danger. And he goes, fuck that line.
Sucking.
Totally shit that line reading. That was terrible. The danger has been dealt with. She's like, okay, what?
Rand's like, I've killed women now.
And then he turns around and goes, Narishma, I have a weave for you. Memorize it. I will show it to you only once. And then he makes balefire, and she's like, hold up.
That would have
wait
been
a minute.
that if I were Narishma, that would have been the moment I was not paying attention.
Skirt, you can't do that. That was a bad move. And he goes, that is the weave we must use when fighting Forsaken Narishma. If we kill them with anything else, they can be reborn. It is a dangerous tool, but still just a tool like any other. It is forbidden. I have decided that it is not.
It is forbidden? Well, it's the only way to kill the Forsaken.
You don't have any idea what that weave can do. You're a child playing with... I've seen balefire destroy cities. I've seen thousands burned from the pattern by its purifying flames. You call me a child, Cadsuane? Then what are those of you who are thousands of years my juniors? She's like, oh, I'm not going to answer that. I don't like this. I hate what's happening in this room right now. We're going to roll it back, and we're going to check in on Semirog again. We got her? Rand is like, yeah, we got her. And by we, I mean me, because you didn't do shit, and you actually made shit worse, and I hate you. But I don't hate you, because I don't have feelings anymore. That's a healthy way to be, isn't it?
No.
So why
This is the thing. Cadsuane has been saying they need to figure out how to, like, keep him from losing his fucking mind. She's not exactly doing it, though.
She didn't do a very good job of it.
No. I know there's no therapy, so they don't know what the shit they're doing, but like, can one fucking culture in this have any kind of healthy coping mechanisms? Not one of them actually has any emotional regulation skills.
You know, that's why I like to go back to season 1. That's why I like the funeral scene in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
So why does Rand get particularly pissed off at Cadsuane? Not pissed off. Why does Rand decide that Cadsuane must be banished?
Why do they decide that Cadsuane must be banished?
Yeah.
Because she had the sad bracelets, the man sad bracelets on her.
Yeah.
And had them warded, but didn't ward them well enough. It didn't like throw them in the ocean, basically. And that caused, Semirog to have kind of an ability to hurt Rand and nearly get Min killed. Listen, that was a royal fuck up.
Yeah. What else?
It was a really, really bad fuck up.
And it was, kind of her fault because she was supposed to get rid of him.
But Rand should have let her kill Semirog in the first place.
Probably.
Like, I don't agree with either of their decision making in this. And I guess Cadsuane gets all the blame.
Yeah, because Rand is the one giving out the blame.
Well, yeah, but if I were Min, I'd be like, you fucked up as well. You both fucked up. You're both fuck ups. Now, make up.
What else was in that box?
I don't remember.
The male Choiden call.
This was pretty big fuck up.
Who probably has that?
Semirog.
She's gone, dead. And so is everybody who was with her.
Oh, Shidar Hardon has it.
Maybe. Or Rand took it, because Rand took the box. Remember?
Oh, yeah. But did Semirog go in that box?
Presumably, but as far as we know, she went in the box, took out the Domination Band, and went straight to Rand's room.
Okay, so Rand could have it.
So is that good?
So someone has it. No. This is all bad.
This is all bad. Everything that's happening is terrible.
Who has the male Choden call? We don't really know.
Probably Rand, unless Shidar Haran took it. No, unless Semirog teleported it into the ocean or something.
And Rand has been a very stable genius.
Very, very, very good mental.
Rand knew who he was at a young age.
She goes, "Do you expect an apology from me?" From you? No. I suspect that I could sooner extract an apology from a stone.
That's not a good way to be.
Then you are.
I'm going to be real. If you fuck it up like that, you should apologize.
You are exiled from my sight, Cadsuane.
I don't care how powerful a person is. They are not above apologizing.
If I see your face again after tonight.
And it's not weakness to apologize.
If I see your face again after tonight,
I will. Strength. What?
Are you done? It's okay if you're not.
I am now.
It's okay if you're not.
Sorry. I just needed to rant about that.
I understand.
Okay, now you may go.
If I see your...
No, I'm just kidding. Now you can go.
He says, if I see your face again after tonight, I will kill you. And Min is like,
But what if something important comes up?
So you remember the thing I said before of
But what if something important comes up?
Is it good that Rand has gone from never kill women to, you know what, fuck them?
It's not good.
Not ideal.
Well, okay. This is the thing. Now he's just throwing out death threats to women left and right. We need to know who the real enemy is. Cadsuane didn't do this to you. Semirog did.
He turned, and again that gaze of his made her trail off. There was a danger to it, a shadowy cast to his eyes that struck her with more fear than she'd thought her aging heart could summon. As she watched, the air around him seemed to warp, and she could almost think that the room had grown darker. But you don't kill women. Everyone knows it. You can hardly put the maidens into danger for fear of them getting hurt.
I've killed 3 women, actually.
I've been forced to revise that particular inclination as of tonight.
That's okay. Credit where credit is due.
Great line.
That was a banger. Banger response. Banger response. I've been forced to revise that particular what?
Inclination.
Damn.
Cadsuane.
Okay. Rand's kind of hot. I'm going to be honest.
Do you believe that I could kill you right here, right now, without using a sword or the power? Do you believe that if I simply willed it, the pattern would bend around me and stop your heart by coincidence? Cadsuane is like,
that's how that works.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know.
Cadsuane is like, I feel like this would actually happen because he appears to be now attempting to actively manipulate ta'veren. And I hate this.
That's pretty scary.
And I'm going to leave. Be certain that I do not see your face ever again, Cadsuane.
Okay, but what if something important comes up? This cannot be. Brandon just got tired of writing her.
Cadsuane raised a hand to her. Well, Brandon does famously, specifically hate writing Cadsuane.
I know. I'm like, Brandon just got tired of writing her.
Cadsuane raised a hand to her head and leaned against the hallway. What doesn't mean she's gone forever. I mean, we're in her head.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I disagree with this decision making. And what if something important comes up? Whenever they're like, never see me again. I'm like, but what if they find out something important?
Before.
I offer boundaries, but what if some... Never is a long time.
Before, she had been working against a stubborn but good-hearted boy. Someone had taken that child and replaced him with this man. A man more dangerous than any she had ever met. Day by day, he was slipping away from them, and at the moment, she hadn't a blasted clue what to do about it. And listen, as a famous Cadsuane defender, I will say, Cadsuane, you didn't help the situation.
No. See what not apologizing gets you?
I don't think that would have mattered.
I think it might have helped.
I don't think it would have mattered at all.
How do you know unless you try?
I don't think it would have helped in this situation at all. I mean, maybe she could have tried, but I think he still would have banished her.
Yeah, probably, but I think she probably should have apologized. Those two things, you don't need to apologize for a result. You should apologize because you fucked up.
So Rand kicking out Cadsuane, bad times, bad days for everybody. Anything else about this chapter?
No.
Okay, we're going to keep going after these ads. Chapter 24, A New Commitment. There's the chapter logo. What is it?
A bull.
Bryn Bowl. Do you have notes?
Yep. Gawyn? No.
The classic.
Of course, this horse is named fucking Challenge.
Yeah, we've talked about that, right? Challenge on challenge.
But also, he's such a dude, bro. Of course, he's like, yeah, I ride challenges every day.
Rise and grind.
He would have rise and grind on his wall. He would say rise and grind
on his ass.
Oh my God. He'd be that guy that's like, I get up at 4 a.m. You wouldn't understand what living is until you see the sunrise every day. And I'm like, listen, if that's you, that's great. Don't make other people feel bad about it. Dallied, huh? Is that what the kids are calling it these days? I said I dallied with a Gawyn, and I'm like, is that what the kids are calling it? Oh God, he's going to try to save her. Buckle up.
Probably, yes.
These rebels are no better than ERRATA. Gawyn once again being a milquetoast moderate.
Very much so. Very dull.
Huh. Wonder what that Aes Sedai is up to. This is concerning.
Well, then we learn later.
And then Gareth Bryn goes, you made an oath before me. And if I was Gawyn, I would have said, I was literally in pre-K.
I could barely talk.
At 2, yeah.
Baby Gawyn with the sword.
That's
one of my favorite
nephews.
Bits. Yeah,
my
I remember,
youngest nephew
tiny.
is the age he was when apparently he made that oath. My nephew hucks beach balls at people's heads.
Yeah.
I don't trust him to make any kind of
I'm surprised.
life-changing binding oath.
I'm surprised Gawyn had the vocabulary.
He still doesn't.
That's true.
Am I right? Yeah. No, I think making a 2-year-old make an oath and then holding him to that when he's in his 20s is maybe the meanest thing you could do.
He might have been 6.
Oh, that's better.
I mean, it's not.
So my other nephew's age.
Yeah.
That's better. You're right. I think we should be making elementary school kids take oaths all the time that we hold them to as adults. That makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
No.
No. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Any more?
No.
Okay. Chapter 24, New Commitment, Gawyn chapter. Exhausted from being a fuckface, Gawyn sat atop challenge. No. Exhausted from days of hard travel, Gawyn sat atop challenge on a low hill southwest of Tar Valon. This countryside should have been green with spring's arrival, but the hillside before him bore only scraggly dead weeds, slain by the winter snows. Tufts of yew. Oh, it's Bryn's camp. He's like, all right, let's go take a look. And he rolls in, and he's like, well, they're not going to stop me coming in. They would stop me going out. Why is that?
Because a guy riding away from a camp could be a spy.
Yeah, pretty much. So he goes in, he thinks about how tired he is. He's like, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna help her, I'm gonna save her, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get my girlfriend, and then we're gonna kiss. It's gonna be great, we're gonna kiss. And thinks about how messy the camp followers are. And then, yes, as you said, he bumps into this seeming Aes Sedai, and then he's like, that's weird. And then she runs away.
Yeah,
Thoughts
that's
on any
super
of this?
weird.
You know who it is, though?
Who was it?
It's Shamiran.
Who is that?
She's the yellow sister who was on Elyda's council that Elyda demoted.
Oh, right.
And who was like, I guess I've been demoted.
Oh, right. Sure. That lady.
And so Gawyn goes up to the command palisade, and this guy comes up and goes, Recruit! You'll have to meet with Captain Alden. Big blue tent at a quarter of the... I haven't done Jowl King in a minute.
Oh,
around
you
a
haven't.
quarter of the way around the outside of the camp. You've got your own horse and sword. That'll get you good pay. And Gawyn goes, I'm not a recruit. My name is Gawyn Trakand. I need to speak with Gareth Bryn immediately about a matter of some urgency.
Immediately.
And the guy goes, Gawyn says, you don't believe me. You should go speak to Captain Alden. If you just send for Bryn, you'd find that, are you going to be trouble? And anyway, I'm going to stop doing that now. Gawyn goes, no trouble. I just need... And then another soldier comes up and goes, if you're going to be in our camp, you're going to have to learn how to do what you're told. And Gawyn goes, very well. We can do it this way. It'll probably be faster anyway. And then he kicks the shit out of these guys.
He does. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna give credit where it's due. When the ones that are idiots, it's just like when it's someone I like does something stupid, much like I had to do with Cadsuane last chapter. I will call him out when somebody who I don't like, a la Gawyn. My goodness, I could not speak for a second. A la Gawyn does something awesome. All right, I'll chat it up.
So he beats the shit out of these guys, and then more guys come running. He throws a sword down.
I was very concerned that he was going to get killed.
I'm unarmed. You would have been so upset if you'd gotten killed.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't have, but I would have been like sad for the people who would have been sad. Because a lot of the people that I like
would have been sad
sad about it.
Gawyn throws a sword down and goes, I am unarmed, and none of these four will die this day. Go and tell your general that a lone blade master just felled a squad of his guards in under 10 heartbeats. I'm an old student of his. He'll want to see me. And this does happen. And then Bryn comes back, and he's like, oh my fucking God. It's you.
Yeah.
Is he happy to see him?
Not really.
Why not?
Because Gawyn's grown up to be kind of a fuckhead.
Kinda.
Yeah. Gareth Bryn calls him out on being a fuckhead.
Yeah.
And is like, Randall Thor probably saved Andor and like has probably helped your sister get there. So stop being a fuckhead. And Gawyn's like, what I heard was be twice as much of a fuckhead.
Gareth, Gawyn called, catching up. Hold your tongue, young man. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with you. And Gawyn's like, whoa, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know how much money my family has? Do you know? My mother would hear about this.
He does do that.
Had she not been killed.
This is the thing, y'all. He pulled a, do you know who I am?
Yes, he did.
Which, obviously, if you know somebody knows who you are and you say, do you know who I am? You're a dick. If you say, do you know who I am? And somebody doesn't know who you are.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious,
that happens
but embarrassing for you.
Especially in Hollywood, that happens sometimes. People be like, do you know who I am? And the bouncer either gets to go, no, or yeah. And so, either way, it's funny.
What you're saying is Gawyn would be the person that's like, this is going to affect the world tour.
100%. What tour?
The world tour.
Yeah, he'd be that guy, or I think it was, I have a friend who worked as a bouncer. I don't remember who this related to, but I had a friend who worked as a bouncer. And it was I know who it was now. And somebody wanted to come into the club, and they wanted to not pay the cover charge, and they tried to just walk in. And my friend went, $20. And she looked at him and said, do you know who I am? And he said, yes, I do know who you are. And I also know that you can afford $20.
Boom.
And she looked at him and cracked up and said, you're good at your job, and gave him like $50 and went in. Actually, she said, you're good at your job. And she tried to go in. He went, $20. And then she paid him and then went in. But yeah, that's Gawyn. Except Gawyn wouldn't pay the money. He would apparently fight the man with a sword. So yeah, all this happens. Bryn takes Gawyn into his tent and goes, all right, explain what you're doing here. General, I think you mistake yourself. I'm no longer your student. I know.
Oh my God.
The boy I trained would never have pulled a childish stunt like that one to get my attention.
And then said, do you know who I am?
The watch sergeant was being belligerent, and I had no patience for the posturing of a fool. This seemed the best way. The best way to what? Outrage me? Look, perhaps I was hasty, but I have an important task.
I'll bet.
You need to listen to me. He's turning into a Asterian the more I do this. Look, perhaps I was hasty, but I have an important task. You need to listen to me. And if I don't? If I instead throw you out of my camp for being a spoiled princeling with too much pride and not enough sense? Be careful, Gareth. I've learned a great deal since we last met. I'm apparently now just doing a mid-level Asterian impression. I think you'll find that your sword can no longer best mine as easily as it once did.
Oh, that's rude.
No doubt of that. Light, boy, you always were a talented one.
Why is he trying to fight him?
You think that just because you're skilled with a sword, your words hold more weight? I should listen because you'll kill me if I don't? I thought I taught you far better than that.
Yeah. Stepdad's pissed.
And then Gawyn is like, I'm being an asshole, aren't I?
Stepdad.
I'm being a dick.
Yes.
I'm being a fucking idiot.
Why are you being an asshole?
Light. I'm sorry, Gareth, you're right. I've been a fool. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's been a difficult year, and I rode myself too hard.
It's been a difficult year. Yeah, well, it's difficult for everybody.
It's the apocalypse, Gawyn. I'm at the edge of my mind, and Bryn is like, yeah, again.
No shit.
Look around you. I'm sieging Tarvalin.
Yeah, he's got a critical lack of empathy right now.
There's also a funny thing. When he first gets into Bryn's camp, he's like, damn, this is tidy as fuck. Whoever's cleaning up for him is really meticulous.
Oh, it's Swan.
It's Swan.
I mean, she strikes me as a meticulous gal.
So Bryn is like, all right, what the fuck? Why the fuck are you here? And he goes, Gareth, it's Gawyn. They have her. The White Tower Aes Sedai?
Ah, shit.
I know. We have to go for her. I came to ask you for help. I intend to mount a rescue. I've stopped doing the Asterian. I intend to mount a rescue. And Bryn is like, you are so fucking behind the curve here, my guy. Like, is your middle name Perrin Ibarra? With how little you know? God damn.
Gawyn, Perrin Ibarra.
Tricand. He goes, tell me this, lad.
Like Gawyn just rips his skin off and he's Perrin the whole time.
How are you going to get her to come out?
And that's why they had it be a Perrin Rand Egwene love triangle. That's the twist.
How are you going to get her to come out with you? And he goes, what?
I see, it was foreshadowing the whole time.
She'll be happy to come. Why wouldn't she?
And everyone was just upset about it because they thought it was just too dead of a giveaway for the readers.
Because she's forbidden us to rescue her,
Mostly
so I've been able to gather.
Who notices all. I like this. Perrin and Gawyn, have we seen them in the same room?
Yeah.
They're the same person.
Maybe?
No, they're the same person.
Huh.
I'm onto it.
Well, I'm not going to just read all this dialogue. Give me the rundown here. What are your thoughts? What's going on?
That was, for legal reasons, a joke. But Moradin and Rand are the same person at this point. Or they're melding in some weird way. What's happening? Gawyn's being a dickhead because he wants to rescue Gawyn.
Yeah.
I think they're about to find in this yellow Aes Sedai some way into the White Tower, but the Shan-Chan are going to attack the White Tower too. So it's going to be just like Gareth Bryn's group, the Shan-Chan, and the Tarvalid witches just in one big explosive battle.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It does, doesn't it?
Did you say Tarvalin witches?
Yeah, I did, just as a joke.
What the fucking white cloak shit is this?
I just felt like...
Damn.
Well, because the women in the Tarvalin I don't particularly like. So I guess I'm allowed to be bigoted.
So Gawyn kind of argues back and forth with Bryn. Bryn is like, we can't do anything. She won't let us. And Gawyn is like, well, can I argue my case? And Bryn is like, sure, you can try. But again, they're not going to let us do anything.
Good luck, babe.
Because she told us not to do anything.
Yeah. Insisted, in fact, has rejected multiple offers of help.
And then
she's like, no, I'm going to dismantle Elida Mean Girl style.
Gawyn obliquely mentions the Aes Sedai in the outer camp, and Bryn goes, younger girl, dark hair, without the ageless face.
No.
Who's that?
Swan? Yeah.
No, this was an Aes Sedai. I could tell because of the face. She was kind of plump, with lighter hair. And then they're like, wait a minute, this might be a spoy. And they go looking. And what do they talk on the way looking? Way too looking. I apparently can't construct sentences. What do they talk about? I'm sorry. On the way to go look for this. What do they talk on the way looking? Why use many word when few word do same trick?
I know what you meant.
Last week I was like, wow, I use these esoteric words and shit. And this week I say, what do they talk when go look?
We're tired today.
We're very tired today.
They talk about Rand and whether or not he killed more gays. And Gareth Bryn is like, honestly, and I'm not talking as just her ex, but if he did, he probably did us all a favor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, you're talking a little as her ex, but I mean, I was like, that's a little unfair because she was like under compulsion, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So out of context, what he says is not wrong, but with the context, what he says is horrific and bad.
Pretty rough. They also talk about Elaine because he's like, where's Elaine at?
He's like, you don't know? Isn't that your job from the time you were 2 years old?
Your
which I'm pretty sure violates some child labor laws as well.
Like the OG oath.
It's a problem.
And he goes, where have you been, lad? You're first prince of the sword now, or you will be once you return to Camelin. Your place is at your sister's side. Egwene first. You made an oath, Bryn said sternly.
Yeah.
Before me. Have you forgotten?
Isn't your whole thing like, oh no, I guess that's your brother. Your brother's all about oaths.
No, but if Elaine has the throne, then she's safe for now. I'll get Egwene and tow her back to Camelin. Men insisting that they are going to drag women out of danger by the scruff of their neck, whether they want it or not, and take them somewhere safe, in this book series in particular, keeps pissing me off.
I love you so much.
It's annoying.
Yes, it is. Because she's handling it. She's handling herself. And I know he doesn't know that necessarily, but like, trust your woman.
Yeah, I get the impulse. I'm not saying I don't understand the impulse, but it's annoying.
Though, yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just like, I don't know if you would be that.
I wouldn't. I would be annoyed by myself doing this because I would probably do the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad the self-awareness is there.
No, I understand.
It is annoying. It is annoying.
This is blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, why aren't you in Camelin? And he's like, I had stuff and things I was doing. And then Bryn is like, oh, were you the motherfucker who was killing my men? I should chop you in twain. And
I was like, do it.
And Gawyn is like, well, yeah, but you're besieging the White Tower. What was I supposed to do? And Bryn is like, fair enough, I guess. Sure, we'll take that.
But I liked those men, you fuck.
And Gawyn is like, also, I said psych when I left, so I'm not actually a commander anymore. I'm not actually an enemy commander because I said, skirt, freak you with the okie doke.
Oh my God.
So like, you can't be mad.
I'd put him in a fucking
headlock. You can't
get
mad. I told you couldn't get mad.
Put him in a headlock challenge.
And Bryn is like, all right. It's funny because I can trust you haven't changed enough to break your word. And meanwhile, we were just talking a second ago about how Gawyn is like, yeah, I had that oath, but I'm going to put pauses on that oath for a minute. And I'm going to say holds on this oath for a second. So I don't know, man. And it also, we're like, he just betrayed the other side. So I'm a little bit curious as to Gawyn, as to Gareth Bryn's decisions to trust this right now.
Yeah.
Just a smidge, if I'm being completely honest. But,
exactly.
You know, Gawyn is thinking with his bits.
Little Gawyn?
Little Gawyn. And anyway, so they're looking for this Aes Sedai. And before that, they start talking about more gays. And Bryn is like, nah, dude, she changed. And Gawyn is like, no. She's smart as shit. It was all a ploy. I'm sure it was some kind of elaborate ruse. And your dumbass just couldn't figure it out. He doesn't say that verbatim, but obviously, you know, mother, if she hurt you, there was a reason. And he goes, no reason other than foolish
she
love.
hurt you. There was a reason.
For that fop.
That's so fucking rude.
No reason other than foolish love for that fop Gabriel. She'd nearly let her clouded head ruin Andor. She'd never. Gareth, you of all people should know that. I should. And I wish I did.
No.
She had another motive. But now we'll never know it. Not now that she's dead. Curse Althor! The day can't come soon enough when I can run him through. And Bryn is like,
God.
You sound like such an asshole right now.
You do. Wow.
You're my favorite thing.
Elaine would be so pissed if you did that too.
You remember a few books ago?
What?
When Rand ends up in Cairhien and he knows that Gawyn is in Cairhien. He goes, damn, I haven't hung out with my boy in a minute. and he sends him a letter that's like, hey, Gawyn, you want to come hang in the palace? And Gawyn, like, refuses to answer the letter, and Rand is like, that's kind of weird. I like that guy. He's fun.
Now, the question is, also, why didn't Gawyn take him up on it and try to kill him then?
Gawyn is not a very smart man.
Like, you know? I'm just saying, if he's so eager to kill Rand, why not have done it when he had the opportunity?
Would have been good.
He's all talk, no fucking bite.
Bryn looks at Gawyn and says, Althor saved Andor, son. Or as near to it as a man could. How could you say that? How could you speak well of that monster? He killed my mother. I heard it from a guy whose name was literally Old Mill the Peddler.
Like, truly.
And then my favorite girl in the world and now my trusted mentor are both telling me that's probably bullshit.
Is probably going to say that.
But I'm sticking to my guns. And he goes, I don't know if I believe those rumors or not, but if I do, lad, then perhaps he did Andor a favor. You don't know how bad it got there at the end. I can't believe I'm hearing this. I won't hear her name soiled like that, Bryn. I mean it. And Bryn is like, I'm not gonna fucking skirt words here, mince words here, guy. Like, your mom sucked at the end. She was a bad ruler, and she sucked, and she was awful, and everybody hated her, and frankly, if Rand stabbed her a little bit, then I think we are all better off. And I'm not just saying this because she kicked me out.
Which, well, probably a little because she kicked you out.
I can accept that a woman would lose affection for a man and bestow it on another. Yes, Morgase the woman I can forgive. But Morgase the queen, she gave the kingdom to that snake. She sent her allies to be beaten and imprisoned. She wasn't right in her mind. Sometimes when a soldier's arm festers, it needs to be cut free to save the man's life. I'm pleased at Elaine's success, and it is a wound to speak these words, but you have to bury that hatred of Althor. He wasn't the problem. Your mother was. And Gawyn goes, in his head, never. I will never forgive Althor. Not for this. And Bryn is like, all right, fine. Go ask your fucking sister. She will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
It's true.
Anyway, so then they keep looking for this lady, and then eventually they find her, and it's Shamiran, and give me the rundown here. What's going on? I said give me the rundown a lot.
Basically they kind of walked up and are like, hey, and she's like, don't tell anyone I'm here. And they're like, what? And that's kind of the end of the chapter.
Pretty much. Any thoughts on any of that?
A dramatic ending to the chapter. I think that they're going to use her to somehow get in the tower.
Could be. Maybe.
Because she'll know all the ways in and stuff. And then she can be part of the new regime.
Well, yeah, but also...
So it behooves her to help them.
Sure.
But also what?
Only Gawyn is trying to get in, right?
Yeah. But we know that he has to help Egwene in some way because she was like, Gawyn at a door, and if he closed it, Egwene would be dead. But I'm like, but she seems to be doing okay. Though I guess ERRATA just beat the ever-loving fuck out of her, so who knows? Right? Maybe ERRATA will change her mind and decide she needs to die for all that so that people stop kind of coming around to her point of view. What do we think?
Could work.
Could work? Yeah, I think that's got to happen soon. He's got to make a choice. A decision. I think he's going to get in there. Here's what I think is going to happen. Okay? He's going to go try to rescue Egwene using What's-Her-Face to get into the tower. Okay? Then he has to make a choice, a definitive choice between her and ERRATA. Then, as they're escaping, the Shan-Chan attack, forcing Gareth Bryn to attack back. We get a huge, epic-ass battle, hopefully. And in the end, Egwene is the Amelin seat.
I'm into this.
And the tower is whole again.
Is that going to happen?
Just in time for book 14.
Oh, so next
where
book.
we go save Egwene.
That's going to happen next book.
No. Where we go save Moiraine.
So book 14 is the last book.
No. Wait.
This is book 12.
Oh, I said 13 at the beginning of this. Okay, so then that happens
it's
just
13
in time
if you count
for book 13. Then book 13 is the Saving Moiraine book, I hope.
Towers of Midnight.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have Last Battle shit.
That's Memory of Light. So I will tell you, and I don't think this is much of a...
Or we save Moiraine this book too. Why not? It's a doorstop.
Well, we could. I think it is fair to kind of, in the same way that I would tell somebody who was reading A Feast for Crows this, Gathering Storm and Towers of Midnight mostly split by point of view. So like all the characters are in both books by and large, but you'll notice this book is heavier on a couple characters. There's at least one POV character who's only shown up like once.
Well, because Egwene It's spent a lot of time with Gawyn.
A lot of Gawyn.
A lot of Perrin. Well, no.
Has it?
Matt?
We've seen Matt once.
Matt, but Matt, because Sean Chan, it's coming.
We've seen that one time.
It's coming. Or no. Next book is going to be Matt, because that's going to be going to save Moraine. We've seen Tuon.
We've seen Tuon. We've seen Rand.
Perrin
we've seen a couple of times, but it was mostly him going, I sure should do something.
He was. Okay, so it's been Gawyn and Matt, Gawyn and Rand. We haven't seen fucking Nynaeve and Lan at all.
Well, Lan is riding across the border.
I know, but we haven't seen either of them really at all.
No.
So really, it's been the Gawyn and Rand show.
Pretty much.
So next book might be the Perrin, Nynaeve, Matt show.
Well, what is Nynaeve's plot right now? Does she really have one?
Keep Lan from dying.
Yeah, but she did that. She's just kind of getting people on board now.
Well, I don't know what she's going to do after that.
We'll have to Raffo.
We haven't really seen Elaine either.
Not
it's really been Gawyn and Rand, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on. Let me look at the...
breakdown?
You can't look too closely. Sorry, those were Mahjong hands I was looking at. Yeah. A lot of White Tower so far. I'm looking at what we have seen so far, to be clear. A lot of White Tower so far. A lot of Rand so far. And the odd ping of Perrin. Anyway. No, you can't look too closely at that.
Wait, no.
You can only look at... Here,
Let
I zoomed in. You can only look at the chapters we've read so far.
But scroll down a little bit.
I will not, because that shows you the rest of them.
I think you should scroll down.
You can only see the chapters we've shown so far.
I think you should. I think you should scroll down a little bit.
This blue is Rand. This green is the White Tower. Yellow is...
Yeah, we've just gotten check-ins with everyone else.
Gawyn. This pink dot is Matt.
Tuon. Or Matt.
And these brown dots are... I'm sorry, the pink dot is Tuon.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The orange dot is Matt, and then the brown dots are Perrin.
I think you should scroll down a little bit.
I will not scroll down a little bit.
You're no fun.
I don't want to spoil.
You're no fun.
Allie, any other thoughts on any of this?
I think we're headed for some kind of... What are we, halfway through the book?
We are halfway through the book.
Well, we're headed for some kind of midpoint then.
Didn't we kind of just have that?
With, what? Oh,
Summerog?
yeah, I guess we have. Okay. Well... I think this is just going to be the ramp up to some kind of fight for the tower.
Are you familiar? Well, it doesn't really matter. Never mind.
What?
There's a term people use when they're describing Brandon Sanderson's books, which doesn't really apply.
Well, I guess Towers of Midnight is next, and wouldn't that be a White Tower thing, maybe?
You would think.
No, it's the Tower of Genji. They're called the Towers of Midnight. Do you want to know
what the Towers of Midnight refers to?
Genji?
No.
I hope. No.
This is not a spoiler at all, because frankly, I think the book titles and what they... It's the same way Knife of Dreams is not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Towers of Midnight, specifically, I believe, refers to some towers in Seanchan.
Okay. Well then, so Gawyn becomes Amerlin's seat this book, and then the Seanchan attack next book. No.
Sorry, it's...
No, I think it all kind of happens...
A fortress complex in Imphral.
I could see a world in which Gawyn wins the tower this book and then the Seanchan attack next book, but it sounds like she might not be much, there might not be much Gawyn POV, plus we're only halfway through, so this is what happens. Alright, Gawyn rescue attempt, Gawyn and the Seanchan, and then Gawyn becomes Amerlin, and then next book it's Rescue Moraine time.
I'm into it. We'll see about this.
I don't know what Perrin's doing, or Nynaeve, or Elaine.
Perrin's thinking about going to talk to somebody about looking at the horses or whatever.
Well, and he's trying to learn about the dream world, I think.
He is.
And about being a wolf man, which he really has needed to do. So I'm glad he's finally not putting that off. Anything else?
Oh. Thanks for listening, everyone. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. We also have Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes, and you can always leave us a rating and or a review, which helps a lot. Other than that, anything else, Sally?
How's Gawyn going to fuck this up?
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.